Greetings, I'm Doc B. And today I want to share with you an experience I had. Well, experience I have every day. And I thought it's time to talk about it. How many can look back on their lives and see a place where you could have lost it all? You almost lost it all, almost lost everything. Let me just get to the point. I try to keep $1 to $5 bills in my car every day. I try to keep it in my wallet. So when I come to an intersection or I come off the ramp driving home from work, there's usually somebody in the street needing money. They'll have a sign saying, I work for food. They'll say, please help, or they'll just wave their hands and they'll say, God bless you. They'll look in the car and they'll wave at you. And I try when I can to give something, because I can think of times where I was without. I had nothing. I can remember when I lost my job and I was in a basement. Someone gave up their basement. My closet to hang my clothes was on the pipes up on the wall in the basement. And my shower was an old sink in the back that could barely kick out hot water. Yes, me, Dr. Vaughn Shores, went through that. A serious, terrible, humbling experience. I can remember when I had a job working at this supply place I won't name, and the shift was 11 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning. And I rode my daughter's bicycle 11 o'clock at night after it became dark, and rode it to work and worked till 7 o'clock in the morning, and then got on the bike and rode it home, tried to get home before anybody really noticed or before it got too light out. I got to the point where I said, Lord, this is terrible. I don't want to live like this. Please take care of my daughter and just kill me. Let me die. Yes, I went through something like that. After that point, the Lord began to build me up. And I've told the story before. One job led to another. One degree led to another. One opportunity led to another. And through humbling, the Lord brought me back. He brought me back up. So now, when I see someone in the street and they have a need, or I see someone hurting, at one time, years ago, I would say, why don't they get a job? Why don't they do something? Why are they in the street? What is the problem with them? Why don't they get busy? I wouldn't let that happen to me. And what happened? Basically, I was in the street. I was homeless. Not begging for money, walking up and down the highway, but my credit was blown. I had nothing. But God brought me back. And now I have compassion, and when I see someone who's struggling or they're in the street and they need a little help, I want to help them. But I must say this, one mishap, one mistake, one shortcoming is not going to put someone, I do not believe is going to put someone in the street where they have to ask for money. Today was interesting. The man was holding a few dollars and somebody gave him a couple dollars, and he came to my car and I gave him a couple dollars, and he was like, I just need $6 more. I just need $6 more. And he was going up through the cars while the light was red and the traffic was stopped. And I just shook my head and I was like, handle business, my brother, handle business. He looked at me and he said, you sharp. And I said, thank you. I said, you my brother, handle business. And I didn't get a chance to really talk to him that much, and I wasn't trying to preach to him because right then he was trying to get his cash together. But I do not believe that one tragedy or one mistake will put someone in the street like that. I believe it's a mindset. I believe it's a continuation. Either they have a mental problem, or they just gave up hope, or they just messed up so bad where they just stopped trying. I do not believe that you would end up in that place if you tried and if you pressed and you trusted the Lord. That's just my opinion. But the Bible did say that the poor will be amongst you always. And he also, in the Word of God, spoke about being compassionate toward those that had a need. And when you ran into someone or ran upon someone that had a need and you could help them take care of that need, the wrong thing to do would be to, well, the Lord will bless you, I'll pray for you, you'll be all right, when you have the means right there in your pocket to help them. This talk is not long. This talk is just directly to the point. There are people out here suffering. There are people out here suffering because of bad choices, and there are people suffering because of generational things that are passed down. And I don't know what the answer is, but well, the answer is always the Lord God. The answer is Jesus. I believe that. And he can turn a life around and pick it up and put it back on the rock and use you. When I was younger, I had an attitude. I wanted to have a nice car. I wanted to have a nice apartment. I wanted to dress sharp. I wanted to think I was something. And people that could not hang with me, I looked down on them until I went down myself. I went down and had nothing. And through that experience, I'm a changed person. I'm a changed man. I know and I realize that at any moment, tragedy could strike and I could be in the street. I could be sick. I could be broken. I could lose what I have. So I approach life showing appreciation for where God has brought me from and where he has brought me to. And I have compassion for those that I see that are struggling and they don't have what I have. And I try to say a kind word or do a small deed or do what I can. I'm humbled and I'm thankful. And I realize that if it was not for God, that my life would be a mess. And there's many black men, and I hate to say it, that the people that I see on the street needing money, most of the time, they're of African descent, male, female. Every once in a while, I'll see a white person out there. Never see any Asians out there. Never see any Orientals out there. I don't think I've seen any Mexicans out there because they help each other. But a few whites that look like they went through some hard times or came from another state or another country. But a lot of times it's the black man or a black woman. And I do not believe that one tragedy, one mishap, one mistake, one fall will put you in that situation. It's a continuous fall. It's a continuous giving up. It's a continuous negative programming that causes a person to give up and to not try. This is what I believe. I believe that man that I saw on the street, he's stuck. He can't seem to get out. I don't know if it's a mental problem. I don't know if he's trying to run the game or if he's just been broken down so much that he has no one to lead him or to bring him into a substantial situation where he trusts the Lord, where he starts off with what God gives him and keeps pushing and keeps fighting and keeps climbing until he goes up that mountain. And as I've said before, the black man's mountain has a few different cliffs and turns on it than the regular mountain. Some of you have heard some of my earlier broadcasts. I talk about Maslow's need hierarchy, where there's physiological needs that need to be met first, then safety, then love and belonging, then esteem, then self-actualization. And this mountain, or black man's mountain, has some barriers on it that must be managed very carefully. And I am trying to do my best to help not just my people, but all people, not give up, be strong, and to hold on, and to take opportunities that are presented to them and climb up and come out of that hole and do better. That's about all I have this week. Don't give up. There's mountains that we have to climb. And I believe the problem is when you stop climbing, when you stop fighting. Don't fight, don't give up. Faith without works is dead. You must walk and fight and have faith, and then the Lord will open the door. I don't want to see my brothers out in the street begging for $1, $2 here, $4 there so they can get something to eat, and then go to the back of the store somewhere to use the bathroom, and they're just hanging out. It's terrible. I hate to see that. I hate to see the homeless struggling. I can't move them all into my house and keep them. I can't do that. So, I'm not, I have my limitations. I don't want to be pulled down. I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm losing what I have. So yes, are we selfish by nature? Yes, we are. Do I have some selfishness in me? Yes, I have to agree that I have a degree of selfishness in me, and who does not? Because I could move some homeless people into the house, take care of them, dress them up. But am I ready to do that? Am I ready to take that risk? I don't think so. But I do want to speak into their hearts. I do want to give where I can. And I do want to be open to what the Lord would have me to do concerning my brothers and sisters who have fallen this far down where they have to stand on the street corner and beg for money. God has a place. God has a way. God can bring you out. I don't have the answers to why these people are in this situation or if they ever come out of the situation. But I know that you or I could have been placed in that same situation through a car accident, through a crime, through a mishap, through being at the wrong place at the wrong time, and lose everything. So the positive thing about this is trust in the Lord. Lean not unto your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. I'm Doc V, and I'll see you next time.